Hey everyone, this is our first podcast here in the Just Gaming channel. And for our first podcast, we decided we're going to focus mainly on ourselves. So we're going to start by introducing ourselves. Then we're going to answer a few Q&A questions that we had in our Just Gaming Facebook group, which will be probably in the description. And it's in the other videos if you want to check it out. And then we're going to talk about like our favorite games that we played this year, whether they came out this year or came out in previous years that we only got the chance to play this year. And we're also going to talk about our expectations for the rest of 2020. So we're going to start by, I guess, Vincent, if you want to introduce yourself first.
So as you said, my name is Vincent. I think, the newest member to Just Gaming, and my favorite game of all time is going to have to be The Last of Us. But my favorite genre of games to play is probably RPGs, which is a surprise to no one that knows me. Matt, you go next.
Sure. Well, I'm Matt. Uh, my favorite game of all time is probably Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3. And my favorite genre is definitely like RPGs as well. Probably more Western RPGs because I'm like uncultured like that. But hey, yeah. And I think I'm like, you said you're like the newest member. I'm pretty sure I was like a member like one day before you, so you just beat me up.
Hey, now,
Newest member.
you're probably a week before Greg.
A week?
I'll
Oh,
give
all right.
yourself
Well,
a
shows
week.
what I know. All right.
Hasika, you want to go?
Hey, my name is Raska. You might recognize me from the Xbox reaction that apparently never showed up.
We had some technical difficulties. Let's move on.
My favorite game of all time is probably Half-Life 2. Although, as you can see, I'm a pretty big PlayStation fan. Although I am pro-consumer, just want to let that be known. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what happens with this channel.
Okay, so all it's left is for me to introduce myself. My name is Pedro. I am basically the creator of Just Gaming. I'm gonna say co-creator because I co-created with another friend who will be here in the next video. And my favorite game might be still Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. And but my favorite genre, it's either between third-person shooters or platformers because those two go really hand to hand. But yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna answer a few questions. I just need to search them. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna start. This came from Oscar. He said, "The game that got you into gaming." So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Sorry, my bad.
Game that got me into gaming. It was probably either The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask, because I remember, or maybe even Chrono Trigger, because those are the three earliest games I remember playing with my brother, because he basically introduced me to games when I was like probably still a baby, and I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. I distinctly remember constantly asking him for help, and I never ended up being Majora's Mask until I was much older because I was just way too young to understand anything. But it was definitely one of those three games that initially got me into gaming. So
Well,
Matt,
for me, yeah, sure. For me, I've had kind of a weird journey with gaming because for the longest time, till I was, I think, about 15, like I just didn't play any video games because like my parents were like, video games are evil. So I finally like broke them down, I guess. And so the first game I ever, or one of the first games I ever played was like Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Origins. But Mass Effect 2 was the game where I was like, I need to convince my parents to let me get like a gaming PC or a console. Because up until then, I would just watch YouTube walkthroughs. because I was so deprived. But like that game, that like I saw like, oh my gosh, you can choose. Like that would like blew my mind. I'm like, you can choose, and like the person who was playing, I was like, what? That's not what I would choose. So that really got me to like finally convince my parents. I had to tell them that it was like it's a social thing, which it was, because like my friends would play games and then they talk about it, and I'd be like, that sounds cool. But yeah, Mass Effect 2 is the game that basically kind of changed my life. So.
Russ, you wanna go?
I think, well, the first game I ever played was either the first Halo or Ocarina of Time at my cousin's house. But the first game that like I owned and the first game that like I personally got obsessed with was the first Star Wars Battlefront game back in
Oh,
2004,
right.
I think.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, I remember me and my brother played like every inch of that game. We spent hundreds of hours on that thing, and yeah, so that still holds a special place in my heart.
For me, I was always like, okay, so growing up, my sister was a huge fan of Nintendo itself. She also really like, we had basically PlayStation 1 and we had Nintendo. We never had Xbox consoles or whatever in this house. But she would love to play Pokemon Blue and Red. We had Blue and Red, but I was kind of young to actually understand Pokemon. I only started playing Pokemon when I was like 10. So I think the first game I actually ever played was, and the game that really like cemented my gaming addiction per se was probably the first Super Mario, because they ported the first Super Mario for Game Boy Color, and that was like the first game I actually ever beaten, and it was really hard for me. I was like 6 years old or 5 years old. I remember how old I was, and like Super Mario Bros. For a 5-year-old was like Dark Souls.
It's
It was like,
hard. I have the original
Uh,
NES cart, and I still can't beat it today.
it's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
So I remember playing the first one like and beating it, and was like, damn, this is so good. I want to keep playing. I was mostly like, I want to keep playing Mario games, but then like my sister was like, hey, you're old enough to try Pokemon, and then I played Pokemon Blue, which also just cemented, I guess, my love for Nintendo. Then the PS2 came, and I was like, nah, I'm a PlayStation boy. But yeah, I think Super Mario was like the reason why I started really liking games. Um, okay, next one is, what video game world would you like to live in? I think we
Who
can go
asked
by the
it?
same order.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even think about these questions. So
Wow,
I did.
I
I did
warned
my
you.
homework.
Yeah,
Teacher, I
didn't
did
know
my
the
I
homework.
told you guys to do your homework. Okay, I
I
can
did.
start. I
I'm a
can
good
start.
boy.
So I guess like this is a weird question, because when I was thinking of different worlds to live in, I was like, there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons in these worlds. Like, hey, it would be so cool to live in like the Last of Us world. No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
Wouldn't
You
It'd be
would
be at
die.
terrible.
all.
why would you?
That would be horrible.
Let's live in the in like Death Stranding or something. I don't know. No, thank you. So I guess like
Yeah.
my pick would probably have to be Legend of Zelda, actually. Like, to live in those games, because those games have so much. Even guess Breath of the Wild was the one that really got into the world itself, but these games have so much detail and so many characters, so many stories. It would be so cool to actually live in that world, in my opinion.
You
But yeah,
lagged. Did you say The Legend of Zelda?
Breath
Yeah,
of the
yeah, he said
Wild.
legend.
Yeah,
Oh,
Legend of
okay,
Zelda.
cool.
Yeah, that would probably be my pick, to be honest. Like, because my favorite games usually, like, when I think of my favorite games, most of them are either like gritty as fuck, or sorry,
Yeah, I'm looking at my
bleeping.
list of. They're all fucking
Like,
dangerous.
my favorite games are like, yeah, man, I'm gonna live in God of War. No, I'm not. I'm gonna live in Uncharted. That's basically our world right now. I guess we
Yeah.
have like.
Except you can jump farther. Yeah.
Yeah,
A
you
lot
can jump
Yeah.
farther.
and have
I'm gonna
unlimited
live in
grip
Last of
strength.
Us. I'm not living in the Last of Us world. So I went for something more whimsical. So I guess I went for Legend of Zelda. Um, I guess Matt did his homework, so I'm passing the torch to Matt.
Yeah,
If you say Mass Effect, I'm blocking.
I'll
him.
say he's going to choose Mass Effect or something.
of course I'm going to choose Mass Effect, and I'll tell
Oh
you
my
why.
god.
No, it's a
Because-
good answer. It's a good answer.
Because outside of the galaxy-ending Reaper invasion, it's a really cool place. Like, think about and also I feel like I can actually speak to this because the game allows you to explore the world so well. All the three games that it's such a cool lived-in world. Like the Citadel, especially parts of the Citadel remind me of Vancouver, where I live pretty close to, and like they're the areas of the wards versus the inner ring. Like the wards are the more not as gentrified cultural areas, and you have the Presidium, which is basically a certain section of Vancouver, which is very uppity and upper class or whatever. But it just kind of feels like this really cool, incredible hodgepodge of different cultures and diversities and stuff like that, on steroids, which is one of the reasons why I love Vancouver. So I guess I'm more speaking specifically about the Citadel in Mass Effect, which if people are watching haven't played Mass Effect, it's essentially the capital of the galaxy with all these different races on this massive space station. Yeah, I mean, they have internet. They alone makes me want to live in that world because think of how many barriers there are because of we can't understand one another, and that alone makes me want to live in that world. But also you got cool aliens and space flight, and I want to try Turian. That is definitely my
Okay.
pick.
So my
It's a
internet.
good answer. There we go.
Okay, so we're back after a bit of
Pedro is a ding
technical
dong.
issues, also known as my internet. We're back, and my internet stopped exactly when Matt started talking about Mass Effect. So I'm gonna get the word back to Razika, who can now talk about his favorite video game world he would like to live in.
Oh. So I should have plenty of time to think of an answer, but I don't have one. I don't know. I feel like are we saying like we'd like to live in it? Like, hold on. Let me collect my thoughts.
That's what I imagine it means when you say which
This is
game world you want
incredible.
to live
Well
in.
It's great.
done.
It's great. Okay, so I was thinking like if I pick the Witcher world or something like that, I would imagine I'm living as a normal person in that world. I'm assuming. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the world of Portal because my life in that world would literally be a video game. So
Okay.
That's a pretty good answer.
That's
There
a
you
nice
go.
answer. I like it.
there you
Okay, so next question is
Wait,
what?
do I not get a thing?
Wait,
Wow,
Wait,
cool.
Greg didn't answer? Okay, Greg, you go. Sorry.
Oh my god. Jesus. If I game world, you see, I'm stuck between three.
Don't say Final Fantasy.
are they all three Final
no, he's
Fantasy
gonna
games?
say Final Fantasy. It's
No,
okay. Just
I'm
say
in
Final
between Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy 16, 15, and 14. I don't know, guys. Help me out. 15 is not even out, but who cares? It's
You know
great.
what? You can just say Final Fantasy, and people will either get it or they won't.
No, I was gonna say either Zelda, Dragon Quest, or Final Fantasy.
All great.
You
games.
want to say Final Fantasy.
No, because Breath of the Wild, or not just Breath of the Wild, just Zelda in general. I guess they're all kind of similar though in a lot of ways. They got a bunch of magical creatures, and you have a sword in a lot of these games.
So
and you
you're
have to kill
copying
them.
my answer.
You can copy Pedro's answer. It's fine.
But
I would like
in
to change my
Dragon
answer to
Quest-
Mass Effect.
But then in Dragon Quest, you got all these amazing environments and huge castles, which also is in both games. You see why I'm conflicted?
Then say Dragon Quest, so you're not copying
Then
and
say
pasting.
Square
There we
Enix.
go.
So you get
Enix.
both.
The world of Square
I would
Enix.
love to
Fine.
live in the computer of the dude that makes Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy.
I choose the world of Square Enix. That is the game world I
Perfect.
want to live in.
Seems
For
about
forever delayed world.
No, don't say it about 16.
No, if
Okay.
if it's forever delayed, then you never have to deal with like the big cataclysms that happen. Just live in a happy world.
Okay. So next one was, what are your expectations of the next gen? Do you think Xbox I can't even say
Xbox
with
is
straight
probably
face.
going to die.
Do you think Xbox will rebound with Series X, or will it continue its downward trajectory?
It
Who
I don't
wants
think
to
it's
be the
gonna
first hater?
I'll go.
I'll be.
Go.
Oh, okay, fine. You
Yeah, no, shut up, Maddie.
go.
Let Vincent talk. Okay.
um, I don't think it's going to like become a not. I don't think it's going to become like a second or third party developer, but I think it's just going to kind of keep going down and down and down, which I have mixed feelings about. Like a part of me just wants to see something crash and burn, but another part of me is like, no, don't go. Even though I don't even have an Xbox. I don't know. Okay. Maddie, your turn.
Well, I think that like at this point, it's basically a meme. How Xbox manages to like fail again and again, which I feel bad for. But I think that because aren't there rumors that like they're gonna try to buy Warner Brothers Interactive?
Yeah.
It's
If
either
they can do
Buying
that,
TikTok.
yeah.
Microsoft's trying to buy Warner Brothers, but I think also EA is trying to buy.
So here's the thing: if they
Warner Brothers.
manage to buy Warner Brothers, I think they have a huge chance. All of a sudden, I think they have a huge chance of
They'll
getting
still
on
mess it
more
up.
even ground. Like because all of a sudden now they can make Batman games. So it's like Sony has Spider-Man, like PS4 has Spider-Man, Xbox has Batman. And as much as it pains me to admit it as a huge Spider-Man fan, I'm pretty sure Batman has more fans.
Yeah.
So I think that if they can seal that deal, then I think we can see a more even console war, whatever. If they don't manage that, then I think I don't know what's going to happen then, because they have just. I feel bad for them because they clearly are trying, but they just. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
They also. Okay, Federico.
Okay, I'm just gonna get my answer out the way.
Before your internet
First of
goes
all,
out.
I'm not an Xbox hater. I actually have an Xbox One S right there. But here's the thing. I think Xbox is taking the right steps, but failing when it comes to execution. Because they got all these studios. I think last year they announced they had a lot of studios. I think they have Rare for like, I don't know how long, but I think it was like back in
It's like
Xbox
2000. I think they
360.
bought them.
Yeah, it was around wasn't it Xbox One? Sorry, Xbox One. No, sorry,
The original
Xbox.
Xbox
Xbox?
is when they bought them. Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, and Rare has done basically nothing. I guess they did like a few games. They
That no
weren't
one
even
cared
big
about.
titles. Yeah, and they have all these studios, and they're not making anything with them. They're just sitting there. Like, I guess some are getting work, but like most of them are just sitting there collecting dust. And while they did buy those studios, it seems that they're still focusing on Forza, Halo, and Gears. Forza, Halo, and Gears. These are their titles. These are their babies. And I guess Forza is a pretty big title. I think Forza is like the biggest racing title in the world, probably. I think there's something that Raz said in the Xbox conference, which you will never see. But basically, I think Xbox is going to have probably a bad first year, but I think they can pick up in the future because PlayStation 3 also had a pretty bad launch year, and they picked up. I think the PS3 ended up outselling the Xbox in the like 2013.
It did.
So, yeah.
So,
So
here's
So, yeah,
One
go, go,
question
go.
I have, which is like I would probably know this if I did more research, but because I know that when the PS4 first launched, it totally beat out the Xbox One when it first
Yeah.
launched.
Yeah.
But did it even out in the end in terms
No.
of sales?
No, no,
No,
no.
Was
I
it
think Xbox
PS4
is
PS4
Switch
has absolutely
outdid
destroyed everything.
Switch has already outdid Xbox, I think.
Yeah, Switch
Okay.
outdid
Switch is out for
Xbox
3
like 2
years.
years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, I'm like, if
Xbox
they,
Xbox One was kind of a fail, and
okay,
I think like they're pushing the Xbox Series X is like the most powerful console ever made. Like, yeah, it can be powerful, but if you have nothing to back the power from the
well,
console,
also
what's the
and it's like
point?
I hate
And
I
we've
hate
gotten to
constantly,
a point, and we've gotten to a point where the consoles are like at its best. Like right now, I think the PS5 is only aiming to get like better like speed when it comes to gaming. Like it allows games to try other things because the processor is faster.
mhm,
Like what we saw with Ratchet and Clank, where you like they're changing worlds like in a snap.
yeah,
There's no delay, no loading, nothing. Just immediately changes. And Xbox saying, no, 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 we have the most power. But then we saw Halo, and you're like,
yeah,
no,
Power.
it's
what
yeah,
power? This is like Xbox One, and
That's not even
I think
Xbox
this
One.
is like this. I think they're like gonna have a bad first year because, uh, well, they have all these coming soon titles that definitely not coming out in 2020. They're probably going to be 2021 titles or even 2022 titles. And so I think they're going to start badly, but I think they can pick up in the future. But yeah,
yeah,
I
look, if they like imagine next year they like drop a an announcement trailer and it's like Batman or Superman or something and it
Gears of War
looks
6,
incredible and
Batman
it's
v
like
Gears of War
Superman.
6.
yeah, and it's like Xbox exclusive
Batman
all of a
versus Halo.
sudden. Yeah.
I I think you guys are being a little too mean on Xbox here. Um,
I'm being
I mean,
nice. I'm
I
being
think
I'm not
nice.
mean. I think
I think
Xbox is a great console. I think
Oh
I
no,
Xbox
I
think
is
was
a great
being
console.
mean.
I think they're definitely aware that they lost this generation. I mean, you compare Xbox One with PS4 and Nintendo Switch, it's no competition at all. But I think they know that going into this next generation, and I think
Exactly.
what they're doing is they're focusing on their strength, which is Game Pass and that community that they built around Game Pass, and buying these other studios and making these exclusive games, which we don't even know if they're going to be completely exclusive or not. I think that's just a way to sell the machine at the end of the year. But going forward, it's going to be more of this Game Pass focused, just kind of strengthening their own community,
Yep.
and this their kind of connection with the PC community that they have. So
Mhm.
I think they're in an okay spot. I mean, as far as selling boxes, I don't think they're going to have a chance at beating the PS5 or even whatever Nintendo comes up with next. But as far as the community, I think they're on a good roll right now.
I think their like actual exclusives are still in development. I don't think like
Yeah.
we haven't
I
even
think so
heard of
too.
them because most of what we saw in the showcase were timed exclusives, and most of them were coming out on Xbox, and then like a year later they would be coming to other platforms. And while people like actually attacked Xbox because they gave Ori and Cuphead to Switch, I said that I actually thought that was really nice because they don't consider Nintendo like a primary rival. Like they consider like another console, so that's fine. And while it was kind of dumb that they gave Cuphead to PlayStation, I think like they're big exclusives. Like I think Hellblade is definitely going to be only on Xbox and maybe PC. Uh, I think those titles will come. I think they'll just come like in 2022. So I guess like yeah, it's gonna have a pretty bad opening, but I think it can pull.
Yeah,
It can
they
try
just
to
yeah
keep up with PlayStation.
they just don't have anything to like sell the system. Like people are already
Yeah.
invested in Spider-Man. They're already invested in that story and God of War
Well,
and all this stuff. So they don't
No,
Xbox
I
doesn't
Animal
have
think
Fantasy.
there's something
I think
actually.
they're
I think there's more people when it comes to like third-party games. when it comes to like NBAs and FIFAs, I think there's more people playing them on Xbox than actually PlayStation. So because I remember seeing like a poll saying, where do you play, like, I think it was Fortnite. I know it's random, but and obviously PC was first, obviously, but then right after PC was actually Xbox, and most of people I know actually play like NBA on Xbox and FIFA on Xbox. I think Xbox is mostly just seen as like a third party console, which is
And
kind of
also, like, let's not forget, like, as much as the internet loves dunking on that Halo Infinite reveal, you know that game is gonna sell like
no, it's gonna
crazy.
sell well. Halo
Like,
always sells well, even when it's not like Halo 5 was kind of, I'm not gonna say badly received. It was like mixed, and it still sold pretty well. Sold, sorry, sold pretty
from
well.
what I heard, is that the story, the single player in that game was a lot of people hated, but a lot of people loved the multiplayer, which I might be completely wrong on. But that was my impression.
That sounds about right, to be honest.
Okay,
I feel like that's the last two games.
let's get
Like,
let's get
I liked the story, right?
another question very quickly. Okay, 10 favorite games, not best, but your favorites. I don't know if I have my list. I
I
can
thought we
tell
were
you.
going to do that in like a separate podcast because that's an entire podcast in of itself.
And we can just brush on it. We can do like top 3, like real quick.
Top 3. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll tell you my top
like
5. I'll
I
give you
can't
my.
even.
Wait a minute. I'm just trying to open my GG app. My top. Yeah, it's my favorite
should
games are
try and
probably
get
like
GG to sponsor us.
less.
Yeah,
Sponsor us, GG.
Yeah, I think my favorite games are like Last of Us, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and Pokemon Fire Red. Since we're doing top 3, those are like my main favorite games. Like those 3 games.
Nice.
Pokemon Fire Red was like, I think, my most played game like ever when it comes to like solo story campaign, whatever. I have so many hours. I restarted games so many times. I love Pokemon Fire Red. But yeah, those are my 3 favorites.
Okay. Do you mind if I go next? Because I do have to get going soon.
No, you can
Sorry.
go. You can go.
So I would say top 3 in no particular order in terms of ranking. I would say Witcher 3. I know this is cheating, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm just going to say the Mass Effect trilogy.
Ah,
Yeah, I know. I'm being one of
Cheater.
those
You're like
people.
Greg with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, basically. And weirdly enough, like, I think Republic Commando. I don't know if any of you have played that game,
I've
but
heard of
like
it.
it has not aged well at all.
What game?
But Republic Commando, it's a Star Wars
I
game,
actually don't know that game.
and it's still has like the shooting has. It's a first-person shooter, and you play as like an elite commando unit in the clone army or whatever.
I
But
literally never play this.
you like the shooting has not aged well at all. But it is the only game that I've played where my AI companions actually feel useful. Like,
Really? So you
and like
stopped playing games in 2009? Okay.
no, no, because like to the point of where they do like this really great detail, which I wish other games did more often. I'm not saying they never do this, but like if you die, the game doesn't end. Like they can revive you instead of you constantly having to revive them. And like you can set them up to do sniping, you can set them up to do like grenade launching, stuff like that. Like it just, I haven't played, and I totally acknowledge that like I haven't played nearly as many games as you guys, but I haven't played a game where my AI companions feel that useful. Like they're always just kind of like they're either not a hindrance or they're annoying. And that's like been the only game where like I'm like they're actually at certain times I'm like, wow, you actually won that part of the game for me. So that's probably why it's one of my favorites, and also it's just nostalgia. But I mean, Mass Effect, I could talk all day about that, so I won't. I pretty much gave one of my big answers in the
Matt is going to
game
do
world.
a 3-hour video on Mass
Yeah,
Effect.
and then, man, Witcher 3. I don't think I think that is the game I have the most logged hours on. Like it is like
Played it.
I still go back into that world and I find things that I haven't
I'm gonna get the
discovered.
game soon. I'm gonna get the game of the year soon. My friend's gonna sell
Yeah.
me his copy.
Yeah. And I got an honorable mention to Guild Wars 2. It's an MMO that I absolutely
Oh,
love.
bro, I played Guild Wars 1 so much when I was a kid. And I actually played Guild Wars 2, but not as much as 1. 1 was so cool. I loved 1.
There you go.
Anyways, I do have to go, but
All right.
I'll see you guys later. Hopefully, I'm not too flaky.
It's okay. We didn't like you anyways.
Cool. Okay. I'll play Mass Effect. Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys
All right,
later.
see ya. Can't wait for that Mass Effect video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one you keep saying.
Mhm. Bye.
So, Roz, you want to go?
Yeah, so my favorite game of all time is, like I said, Half-Life 2. I just remember I played it. I didn't play it at launch, but I think I played it like maybe 10-ish years ago. But I remember just being blown away by the the graphics and the technology and just how the story kind of unfolded. And second game of all time is probably The Witcher 3. That world is, I mean, like Matt said, it's breathable. Like you can just walk and you just feel everything. It just feels so alive. And then a recent addition to my top 3. I apologize if we start getting some dislikes, but it's The Last of Us Part 2.
Ooh, just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, I mean, it's just a groundbreaking achievement in storytelling. I don't know
Nah,
what
it
else, what
sucks,
else
but
to
let's
say.
keep going. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
I'm kidding.
okay.
I love the game as well. And actually, Matt left when we had only one question left, which was most
Hey, you skipped me
anticipated.
again.
No, you talked about it.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No, I did it.
I'm sorry. Okay, here's why. Because the order you
Pedro really just doesn't want to hear
No,
about
no,
Final
I
no, no,
do
Fantasy.
not
no,
want to.
because,
I'm not
because
wanted.
I'm gonna explain because Vincent usually is the first one.
Oh, yeah.
In the last one we switched, so I thought he. Sorry, Vincent.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
All right, yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Um,
My bad. It was my bad. Next time
so
you
top three
start
of all
talking.
time.
Next one you start.
Okay, so top 3 games of all time off the top of my head. I could say the first one is The Last of Us. I mentioned that earlier. It's just storytelling is amazing. And part 2 is also amazing, but it's not my top 3. Second one, and these are in no order except for Last of Us being number 1. Next one is Majora's Mask. It's just the little moments in the game that really hit
Ocarina?
you. What?
Over Ocarina of Time?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just prefer the story a bit more in
Hmm.
Majora's Mask, and they did refine a lot of things from Ocarina of Time. So, and then finally, this one's tough because I have like a bunch of ones I could do, but I guess I could just say, well, I don't know, man. Because like there's a bunch of games. I guess it's not in my top 3, but it's just what I'm thinking of. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. It's not there, but it's
It's nice.
just the one I could think of. It's just so free of what you can do and how you do every mission, and the story is basically non-existent. But that's like the one Metal Gear game that it doesn't really matter because it's really just about the gameplay. And yeah, that's it.
I remember a lot of people hating on 5.
I appreciate that answer.
And I remember like seeing a lot of articles. I even saw a video of a guy saying that it was his favorite because of just how free he felt while playing the game. You know, maybe the story isn't good, but like the gameplay is like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's similar with like Death Stranding, like the way that you're able to tackle.
No. Death Stranding doesn't have that good of gameplay. I love Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding is a fantastic game.
Whoa.
I love Death Stranding.
I never played
I would give you like an 8.5. That's great game. But the gameplay is not that good. Like it's pretty cool and like it depends how much of a patience you have. Because if you have like low patience, you're probably gonna get bored out of it like after 5 minutes. But
Interesting, because I remember you messaged me saying it was the most fun game of the year. But
it was
anyway,
it was fun. No, I liked it. I think what I'm trying to say is I don't think Death Stranding is for everyone as much as Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid, when it comes to freedom, if I meant is like it's basically a stealth game, but you can also go like guns commando and shooting everyone. Like you can pick your own style. That's trending. You just have to do. There's only one style you have to go. Like there's no options. There's no variety. In my opinion, I still love the game. I love Death
all
Stranding.
right, next question.
Okay, next question. Next one
Stay
was,
off topic.
and now Vincent, you're gonna be the first one because I don't want to skip you again.
All
Most
right.
anticipated game. Now this only says most anticipated game, so I don't know if it's like the rest of the year or like in the near future.
Oh, anticipated game.
Don't
Man, I
say
should have
Final
looked.
Fantasy
I should
16.
have looked over this before. My most
You guys
anticipated.
should have done your homework.
I should have,
What
but I
was
don't
the
like
fun of
doing
that?
homework.
Do
I'm
you want
done
me
with.
to
I
go
just
first?
graduated.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you
I
go
can go
first. I
first,
just
because mine
graduated
is
college. I'm not doing homework.
100% Cyberpunk. It's Cyberpunk. I'm incredibly excited. No, I'm kidding. It's Avengers. I love Destiny reskin as the Avengers. Boom. That's. No, I'm kidding. It's Cyberpunk. Uh, Cyberpunk looks incredible. Like I can't put words like how excited I am for the game. I'm so excited that I'm actually like not getting the game day one, just so I can experience it on the PS5. So I'm getting it when I get my PS5. I'm getting Cyberpunk because that's gonna be my PS5 launch title.
Well, it's a good thing it got delayed till November. So
And
But,
probably
but
again.
we don't know if
later
it's
on.
coming out before the PS5.
I mean, it's the same month. I mean,
Yeah, it's probably PlayStation 5 is probably
You
coming late.
you can buy it
November.
on day one and then wait 2 days and
Yeah.
still.
But yeah, the world looks incredible. The gameplay looks pretty fun. The the amount of variety of stuff you can do is overwhelming, to be honest. It's kind of overwhelming how much things you can do. And the story, I'm not going to say it looks great, but it is very intriguing, and I'm very curious to see where they go with it. But yeah, Cyberpunk is definitely my most anticipated title. Since Vincent doesn't want to talk, Raz, if
Well, I was about to say, does the game have to be a 2020 game, or can it just be in general?
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I was saying like since it just says most anticipated game, I guess you can go like in the near
Okay.
future.
Okay, I
But
missed
make
that.
it a title that has actually been announced. Don't say like, "Oh, Super Mario Galaxy 3, it's coming somehow."
Well, honestly, like if that Mario trilogy thing actually is real, then it's probably going to
I'm
be that.
so
But since
hyped for that, but I don't think that
yeah, but if
we
it
don't
isn't
know.
real, if the Mario thing isn't real by some miracle, then y'all gonna yell at me. Final Fantasy VII Part 2.
I'm out.
No.
How am I gonna yell?
Pedro, play the
Isn't
game
like-
already.
Isn't
Jeez.
like isn't like one of the like critically acclaimed games of 2020? Isn't
Final
like
Fantasy
top five?
7 1?
Yeah,
What?
part one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's legit.
So why would you be mad? Like everyone is loving that remake.
Yeah. Because it's really good. Wait, what do you
Yeah.
say?
Are you
No.
asking why
No.
like it?
Because he said because Vincent said you're gonna get mad at me. Why would I get mad at you? Because you said,
Because I brought up Final Fantasy.
nah, it's fine. We expected it from you. I'm doing a drinking game. I'm drinking water every time you say Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay. All right, Ross, you're up.
Okay. I can't wait for Cyberpunk either, but just for the sake of a different answer, actually, does it have to be announced? Can it be like a game that's inferred?
Sorry, game what?
Does it have to be like officially announced?
I mean,
Can it be
what do you mean, like?
God of War 2?
Newer?
I'm saying God of War 2
Okay. So okay.
or whatever the sequel.
I'm
to
gonna
that game.
count it. I'm gonna count because we're at a point where it's basically announced. We're just waiting for the actual announcement, but it's basically announced.
Yeah, I mean, just
Corey
just to set-
gave us a lot of
Daddy Barlog. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, the setup that the possibilities, the possibilities. I can't wait.
Chris Hemsworth. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so I think that's it. So let's move on to our next topic, which is best games of the year so far, in your guys' opinion. Now, this could be games like your favorite game of the year that came out this year, or it could be uh, a game that you just happened to play this year that you thought it was incredible. For example, I was gonna say my favorite game was Last of Us, and it is if we're only talking about 2020. But I think like I want to like change the things a little bit, so I'm just gonna say that I've played. I would say 6 games this year that I thought were incredible, and I think I'm gonna mention all the 6. So first one is Last of Us, and then I finally played for the first time Ori after standing that game for like 3 years and saying it looked incredible. I actually bought it this year and played it, and oh man, it's so good. And I played it on the Switch, and I was thinking it's not going to look as good on the as it looks on the PC and Xbox, but man, the graphics on the Switch, in my opinion, top 5 best looking games on the Switch easily. Like I can't think of like 3, like maybe Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are the 2 that come first to mind, but there's very few games that look as good and play as good as Ori. Incredible game, incredible platformer. I'm just waiting now to play Ori 2, but I don't want to get it for the Xbox because I want to get it for the Switch so I can continue playing on the Switch. Um, I actually also played this year Halo 1, which is incredible as well. So that's my love for Xbox for the entire podcast. No more love for the Xbox. But I also I want to mention another game. I think I'm gonna end it here so I don't like talk nonsense. I think a game that no one is talking about that came out this year is Dreams. Like every time I look up like best games of the year so far, no one talks about Dreams, and I think Dreams deserves a lot of recognition. I played like about 20 hours of Dreams. I spent like 20 hours. I'm not much of a builder. I will play games. I don't like building because I suck at creating things. So I spent most of my time like playing actual levels that people created, and it's insane how much people can do with this game. And it's insane how 20 minutes of creating can create an actual game. Like I saw when the game came out, I actually went to an event of Dreams, and there was a guy that created an entire game in 30 minutes. Like I think the game had like 5 levels or something like that. I was blown away, and I think Dreams has so much potential to be something even greater. There's already people trying to actually create full-fledged games in Dreams. I don't know if you guys saw the Avatar guy. There's a guy creating a full Avatar game just on Dreams, and I think like when I look at people's list for best game of the year, usually it's either Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, and nobody talks about Dreams. And I think Dreams deserves way more recognition because it's something really, really incredible. And yeah, that's a few of like the best games I've played this year.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I guess similarly, I'm going to do probably just a few that come right in my head, but I'm going to do them quickly. I actually, by chance, have some of them right here, just already on my desk. Smash Bros. You can't see it. Smash Bros. I know a lot of people complain about Fire Emblem being in it. I love Fire Emblem. I'm not complaining. Animal Crossing there.
Okay.
People have complaints like Ross will never shut up about the builder aspect of it, but I don't care.
Hey, I'm with Ross.
One sec.
The
Hold
island designer
Hold on.
is really bad.
I'm
But
on.
the only bad part of the game, in my opinion.
Hold on. Cut this. I'm on a podcast. I'm on a podcast. Go away.
Making memes, mom. I'm the
I'm on it.
future.
I'm on the internet.
Is that corn? Let me
Okay.
know. You can continue.
Yeah, okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Continue. All right. Sorry about the cut. I got interrupted. Another one. Uh, Final Fantasy 15, specifically Royal Edition. Um, it's got issues. The story is actually kind of broken at times, but the ending somehow brings it together, and I got real sad. And
So that's Kingdom Hearts 3, basically.
yeah. I feel like this one was better though, from
Don't
what I
say
hear.
anything about Kingdom Hearts, Raz. I know you're looking.
um, and two more, actually three more. One being Celeste.
Oh,
That's it's. I played it the first time this year. It's probably my top 10 favorite games of all time at this point. I love it. Pedro kept giving me so much shit that it would be too hard for me, and I actually beat it quicker than he did with no assists. So,
wait, assists? What's assists? The game has
like
assists?
yeah,
I didn't know. I swear
yeah,
I
it has
didn't.
assists. Yeah, it has assists, but I beat it without it because I was too stubborn, and I beat your time.
Like 30 minutes.
What?
You beat it for like half an hour, I think. I don't remember. I think I clocked like 8 hours or something like that.
Mine was like 6.5.
Okay, for an hour. Ooh.
Hey, you giving me shit about it because it's too hard because I said I
Wow.
was bad at
Come on.
FPSs. Okay.
Moving.
The Last of Us Part 2. Everyone's already said it. It's great. People are stupid if they say that it's trans or because they hate LGBT stuff. Finally, Final Fantasy 7 Part 1, presumably, because it's just amazing. Okay, Ras, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as far as some of my favorites of the year go, um, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of them. Doom Eternal, which I need to finish. Um, Animal Crossing, obviously, it's great. Ghost of Tsushima, which I am really close to finishing, is up there. And of course, The Last of Us Part 2. I do want to talk about some first-time games that I played this year.
Okay.
The better Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. Played that for the first time this year, and
I want to play that.
it's so great. It's Animal
I've never
Crossing.
played it, so I don't know.
It's Animal Crossing, but there's storylines you can get invested in. So that's always a good thing for me. Some two indie games for the Switch that I played. I played Bastion for the first time.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan of Transistor, so playing Bastion, I mean, I love that studio, and I can't wait for whatever game they're releasing next. I think it's Hades or something.
I don't know.
Anyway, and then Katana Zero, which I highly suggest. It's basically Nintendo Switch's Ghost of Tsushima. It's all
Actually,
about timing and parrying and stuff, and it's super cool. Yeah.
I actually want to throw also another mention to a game that I actually started yesterday and beat yesterday. Like I played the entire thing yesterday, which is Concrete Genie. Concrete Genie is one of the most underrated PlayStation game. I think he got like good reviews, just good reviews, and I think the game is really good. I think the story is really well done because the game is only like 3-4 hours. If you're bad at it, you're gonna take like 5 hours maybe. But
If you like exploring, you'll take 5 hours. Excuse me.
no. If you like exploring, you take like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because some cards are kind of hard to find because the map has no tracking, so you're gonna like go in circles looking for cards. But the game is like, if you focus only on the story, it's like 3 to 4 hours, and I think that works in the game's advantage because the story is really tight and it flows really well. The game has like a platform component, but it also has like a fighting component, which both work really well in my opinion. And it just felt like I was playing a Pixar movie, which kind of is like my thing because I love Pixar so much. But yeah, I love the game. I've seen like no love for it online. Like I've seen people say, yeah, it's good, but like in my opinion, like top 15 exclusives of the PS4. It's
I agree.
incredible. You can get it for like $20, I think already. I think it's down to 20.
I really
Around
wish
that price.
it had HDR. I really wish it had HDR.
I wish they didn't make trophies for VR because I don't have VR. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm just gonna check to see if I missed something, but I think that will wrap. Um, I had here to talk about like the future, like the rest of the year when it comes to gaming, but I think we kind of talked about that when we talked about the Xbox question. So I don't think we need to
Yeah.
go back to it again. But yeah,
Oh, real quick, one game I think Pedro would love for me to mention. I played for the first time is Destiny 2, and
Oh
I just
God.
want to say, go ahead, go ahead.
Uh,
I just wanted to make Pedro man. Go ahead.
why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Wait, did you actually only start playing Destiny this year?
Yeah, when Stadia gave that free trial, I started.
Well, I played Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, so who really won? Who really
yeah.
won?
So who got the better game?
I got the better game. Amiibo Festival
Yeah.
rocks.
I don't know. Mine was free, so
Mine came with 2 Amiibos,
I don't know. I don't know what
so
that
I
is.
win.
That means nothing to me.
So this is gonna wrap our first episode. Sorry for the technical difficulties we went through.
We have to blame Pedro for all of them.
I promise it will get better. Um, let us know if you want to see other content from us. Me and Vincent actually have been working on a few videos of ourselves of different topics. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about mine, but if Vincent wants to talk about his videos, he can do so.
Yeah. Real quick. Yeah,
Yeah,
I made a Ghost of Tsushima review. It's up on the channel. All these videos up on the channel, obviously. Final Fantasy VII remake video, which is actually the video I'm most proud of out of anything I've ever made in my life.
it's coming. It's coming either this week or next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And
So that's coming up,
yeah.
and I have planned for my next video to be Chrono Triggers. So that's going to be another kind of passion project of mine that I hopefully is going to be as good or if not better as my Final Fantasy video. That's it.
I'm doing a video on Destiny 2. No, I'm kidding. The game trash.
Can I co-host that?
We will be trying to do a live stream of the state of play, which will have Samuel in it, our fifth member. And I think that's it. And we'll probably try to, me and Raz will try to live stream us playing Fall Guys as well. Maybe. We'll see.
If the servers are working, we'll see.
If the servers are working, because servers are down apparently. And I think that's all it. You guys want to plug anything?
I guess
Twitter.
I guess the only
OnlyFans.
thing I can plug is my own personal YouTube channel. That's probably going to be mostly dead, minus some backup videos I made a while back that I still need to upload. They're the DLCs to Final Fantasy 15. But after those,
I linked your channel on the Ghost of Tsushima video.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to see some of my older videos, including whenever I upload the DLC videos, yeah, this is Vincent Rodriguez. That's it.
Roz, do you have anything?
You can find me on Twitter at the Lovely Possum. Follow me there.
A lovely possum?
Yeah. Go follow
Okay.
it.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Rosca signing out. John, I don't know.
Okay, we're signing out.
Go like and subscribe.
Go play Destiny 2 apparently.
Yes.
Okay. See ya.